Hey, it's so good to see all of you happy faces back again. Today, I have a question for all of you. What would you do post all of this lockdown scenario when you try to start your motorcycle? This happens. I would suggest grab your notebooks because by the end of the video, you will definitely know what to do in such a scenario. So, step 1, do not panic. Take a deep breath, it isn't a big deal. Step 2, analyze. In my case, when I tried to start my motorcycle, there was no display at all. There could be possibly two reasons to this. One, there might be loose connections on the battery terminal. Two, the battery might have been in a deep discharge state. In my case, it was both. Well, my motorcycle had been sitting idle for close to around 6 months right now because of the lockdown. Also due to my hand injury, I didn't get a chance to ride my motorcycle at all. In majority of the cases, it is point number 2 where the battery is in a deep discharge state. And in such a scenario, what happens is that when you turn on your bike, you get everything on your display, but the motorcycle won't just start up. So how do we solve this? Remove your seats, remove your terminals, remove the battery, recharge it, put everything back together and you're done. Hang on, this is not what you came for, right? Well, I'll be explaining what you need to do in case your motorcycle won't start up due to a dead battery. So stick with me through this to the end of the video. First, let's talk about the equipments that you need to get this job done. A 10mm spanner would do the entire job, but I advise you use a star screwdriver as well. You can also use the toolkit provided on the Dominar 400, but you have to manage with a 10mm wrench. But I suggest using a spanner because it's much easier to operate.
In order to remove your bike's battery, the first thing that you need to do is remove your rear seat, and you can do that with the help of your bike's key by opening the rear latchet. The next thing that you want is to open your bike's front seat in order to access the battery. You can either use a 10mm spanner to open the bolts, or you can use the 10mm wrench as given in the Dominar's toolkit. After doing with the front seat, the next thing that you want to do is to detach the rubber belt on the battery so that it can be easily removed. Now make sure that you unscrew the negative terminal first, followed by the positive terminal. Then slowly pull out the battery from the casing.
Now talking about my motorcycle in particular, the Dominar 400 comes equipped with a 12V 9A VRLA battery either from Exide or Amaron, and it is completely maintenance free. I have been owning this motorcycle since close to around 3 months right now, and I have never faced such an issue with the battery. VRLA basically stands for valve regulated lead acid batteries, which essentially means you do not have to worry about the water levels in your battery. It also suggests that charging is required if the open circuit voltage is less than 12.4 volts. In my case, at the service station, it showed somewhere around 11.9 volts, which meant that charging was definitely required. New battery will show you a reading somewhere around 13 volts, whereas a regularly used vehicle's battery will show you a reading somewhere between 12.5 to 13 volts. After charging the battery, it showed around 12.9 volts and it was more than enough to crank the motorcycle up.
Once the battery is fully charged, you can slowly insert the battery back into its housing. Make sure you attach the positive terminal first, followed by the negative terminal. Reinsert the rubber belt so that the battery is not able to move after installation. Now tighten the bolts of the front seat using the same 10mm spanner or wrench. Reinstall the rear seat of the bike by simply pushing it in. Now let's try and crank up our motorcycle. It should start without any hassle.
Now taking into account the scenario that we are in right now, if your motorcycle is going to be idle for a long time right now, I suggest you start up your motorcycle at least once a week to avoid such a fiasco. In case you have a carbureted engine with a Kickstarter, it is also recommended that you disconnect your batteries. That will help too. That's all about this, guys. I hope you found the video useful, and if you do so, then do drop in a comment and do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel Biker Imperfect. For more queries, you can also connect with me on Instagram. Follow me on biker.imperfect. Shoot in your queries and I will be happy to answer. That's all for today. I'll see you in my next video. Ciao.